Shop smart, shop S-smart.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of New Book This. I, of course, am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is longtime friend of the channel, Mr. Edwin Acevedo. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on? I'm good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Back in the studio, and got everything set up, and did a little dry run before the show just to make sure I'm using the correct microphone. I believe I was. Now it'd be really funny if I did all that checking and setting up, and it wasn't using the correct micro. No, it's using the right microphone. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, all the technical difficulties ironed out beforehand. So always a good thing. So what's cracking with you, homie?
You know me, man. Another day, another new book dropping.
Yeah, seriously.
Right,
you got books coming out your ears, man. It's great.
We're working on more behind the scenes, you know. It's one of those things. You're kind of in that creative space. You just kind of want to keep going. So
yeah.
So right now, it's all about Bloodbone. The Second Chance Ashcan, you know, I put out the first one last year through PayPal. You know, it kind of went under the radar. Some people missed out on it. They've been asking if there was going to be another chance to get it. So I was like, you know what? Fund My Comic is right there. You know,
absolutely. You know, Luke's put a lot of work into that site too, man. And you know, I'm happy to see people using it. You know, it's fantastic. You know, it gives the creators a better cut of the profits. And, you know, it's a site geared towards actually selling comics and magazines and crowdfunding stuff. So, I mean, it is the place to be, you know. And
it's
got an algorithm, you know. I want to talk about that. I want to hear about your experience being on Fund My Comic. But let's go ahead and say hello to the chat. We got Chimera saying, "Yo, all, what's going on?" Chimera, I see, got his Christmas cap on already. Everybody just jumping on that Christmas bandwagon already. Can't even enjoy November first, huh? You know, and we got this dude with an ace in his hand. Yeah. What's up? Hey, I don't have. Well, okay, I've got my jug of water. Skull, Flying Feline. Good to see you, beautiful. Just got back from seeing her. As a matter of fact,
nice.
Was a fantastic trip. Fantastic trip. Got to spend Samhain together and got to carve a pumpkin, man, and do bonfires. I haven't carved a pumpkin in forever.
I know.
Bonfire with s'mores. Oh yeah, it was good. It was a good lead up. It was perfect fall weather as well for most of it. Oh, yo, we got Odin. What's going on, Odin? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Says, good evening, Luke and Edwin. Bloodbone is great, brother.
Yeah, brother. Thank you for backing. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. It's a good looking book, man. And you had a fucking badass cover the first time around. And now you got a badass cover this time around from my boy Shelby. That's a good looking book. But before we jump into that, what have you been up to since the last time we talked? Because I believe the last time we talked, it was Raid of the White Leopard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, what's been going on with that?
Yeah, so it was successfully funded on Fund My Comic. Thanks to everybody who supported it. And right now I'm just deep in fulfillment. It's about halfway-ish fulfilled. Just sent out some books yesterday to people. I'll be sending more out in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully, thinking by the end of the year, everything should be out, including the original art.
Nice,
so
dude.
that's kind of like the goal, get everything out by the end of the year and then kind of start the new year fresh. So yeah,
just keep the ball rolling, man. A body in motion stays in motion, man. And so like you've got the Ace, you've got Raid of the White Leopard now, you've got Bloodbone. Like that's 3 separate titles you got cranking out here. That's awesome, man. Now, are any of these ever going to cross over? I'm sure I've asked you this before, but
You have, but no, they all take place in their own separate universes. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not room for fun stuff to featuring characters. But as far as like storylines or anything, no, these are going to be their own universes, their own stories. You know, they won't be in any kind of mixture. I think like the multiverse stuff has been overdone. You know, like I'm down for crossovers, but I want to cross over with other IPs that are not mine. I think that's interesting. But yeah, I think like a lot of stuff has been too overdone over the last couple of years. I want to kind of separate my stuff and have it all be their own universes, their own stories, not intersect. And also as a writer, like I like being able to have Ace, which is just like space based.
Yeah,
aliens, spaceships, lasers, all that stuff. And then you come complete street level with Bloodbone, just like gritty, nasty, right in the streets kind of stuff. So it helps me kind of write. I'm not writing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. You got to worry about things getting stale in your own head if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Absolutely. Now, I don't know if I've ever asked you this before. Where did you get? How did you get into comics? Like, what was your first experience with comics?
Yeah, man, I'm a '90s baby. You know, like I grew up like 90, I think 91. You know, discovering them at a little spinner rack at a local store that was next to me. You know, like seeing Spider-Man there.
Comics.
Seeing Spider-Man there. You know, everybody knows Spider-Man, even if people have no reference for anything. Like I grabbed Spider-Man, read it, dug it, couldn't wait to go back. Then next week Spider-Man wasn't there, but they had X-Men, Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah,
Portatio X-Men. That changed my life.
Man.
I always say.
Will's was so good.
Yeah. When I saw him draw Colossus, Archangel, Jean Grey, Iceman, literally see Storm and Bishop on the cover facing off of each other. It just literally just changed my life, man. Anything that had an X, I was getting. You know, just
dude.
The
those books were hot. Those were the books to get back then, man. You know, and they had all the good artists on there that were just, you know, they were doing all that graphic stuff that were just, you know, eye-catching, iconic stuff. I mean, of course, Liefeld on X-Force, you know, the all the hottest artists were working on X books at the time. You know, Silvestri, Lee, you know, but I mean, even before them, you know, John Byrne, dude, yeah. Hell yeah! So that's the classic period to get into comics. You know, I think we kind of grew up with like the golden this golden era, and not like the golden age, but I mean like a golden era of just creative, you know, stories being told with comics. I think that's I think that's why there's so many good stories being told over here. You know, trying to recreate that magic. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to read Pete Sammetti's King Cryptid.
No, not yet.
Man, it's some good stuff, dude. It kind of has that old, like that classic, like 80s Marvel feel. Like it's got that magic where you can jump in for that episode and then, you know, get a whole story, feel for the characters, and then, you know, it can go on to something else in the next issue. You know, like just good little adventures that all, you know, eventually connect together. Just fantastic storytelling on Pete's part. But yeah, I think growing up in that era kind of it helped inspire all the cool shit that we're seeing over here in the indie scene now, man. You know, and that's kind of why we all disappeared from reading mainstream comics. What was the when was the last time you went and picked something up from the comic shop?
It's been a minute. I basically tapped out after Jeff Johns left Green Lantern.
Okay.
So, like,
so
once he finished up, once he finished up this Green Lantern, I gave like the next writer a couple of issues, but by then I was really just kind of like worn down. Like, this stuff wasn't exciting me. You know, like I felt like a lot of they were just like trying stuff that wasn't really appealing. So, you know, by then that was kind of like the swan song for me. Like once I knew Jeff was leaving, it's like basically the end of an era for DC for me. I had to like, I think I'm good. I can't make peace with it. Once Green Lantern ended, like I was like, I think I'm good. We're gonna take a little break and kind of see what else is out there. And that's how I discovered indie comics. You know, this little movement that we we're all a part of. So
yeah, and when I was working in the comic shop, man, I found myself more and more gravitating towards the indie stuff. People would come in like excited about the fucking movies and stuff like that, and they'd want some good comics, and I'd be like, well, check out some of this classic stuff over here that's been in trade format. It usually wasn't anything new off the wall, and if I was telling somebody to check out something new off the wall, it was because it was like an independent something that would be more enjoyable for them to read. It got harder and harder to recommend stuff that was new to people on the wall, or recommend new stuff on the wall to people that were coming in. I would think to myself, there's a lot of cool stuff on the internet right now. There's a lot of cool stuff in the indie sphere that people should read, but trying to recommend some of the mainstream stuff got really fucking hard. There was only a few select titles. So yeah, completely forgot where I was going with that. So is that what led to the creation of the Ace? Like, you not getting the sci-fi type stuff from Green Lantern or anything like that? Like, is that where Ace kind of came from?
Yeah, like I'm a big Green Lantern fan. Like, I discovered Marvel first. Because my shop didn't really carry too much DC. I think they only carried Batman and Superman. So it was a couple of years until like I got and found like a actual comic shop. And that's when like Green Lantern just spoke to me. Like I remember the old Super Friends. Like I was always like, if Green Lantern showed up, that's the old episodes I'd watch. So I was already kind of like, there's something about the character, the ring, the superpower, all that stuff that was cool. So I just jumped right in and started like discovering like 90s Green Lantern, which is pretty good. Like it was volume 3 back then. And that's kind of how I got into the character. Like I always thought he had tons of potential, and just like it just felt like it was good, but I felt like there was more to this. Like they could really take it up, and it wasn't until Jeff Johns brought Hal back in Rebirth that I saw that potential really like fleshed out. Like I remember it's like probably issue 3 or 4, where the one where Hal comes back in the last page. I remember thinking like rereading all those issues and then reading that last page, seeing Hal stand up from the coffin with his ring, and just getting goosebumps and just being like, this is a comic. This is what it should be. Like I remember just being so just like fired up. Like I hadn't been since the early 90s X-Men, you know, and like remember like all those issues with Wolverine fighting Omega Red. Like all that kind of crazy, like Magneto thrown down with the X-Men. It was so epic. It was just like, you couldn't wait till the next one, man. You're like 30 days. How am I going to wait 30 days for the next one? Killing me here. You know? It had
excited to read the next bit. Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, that's kind of like, so I love that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of Darkhawk, discovering him as like, the great thing about Darkhawk was like, it was a brand new hero. So you could follow him from issue 1. And you can kind of grow with him. And so taking those two elements was really something that I wanted to blend in. And that's what kind of kicked off the Ace, blends off a lot of the Darkhawk. This young guy, David, he's trying to figure out his life. He gets this cool armor, and then he goes into space and he's dealing with these alien sharks and all this kind of crazy stuff that happens to him. I was able to kind of mix both of them. And that's what the Ace is really about. And I think like as people read more, volume 3 is coming next year. Early next year, probably around spring. People are going to see a lot of more of those influences now that they'll have like 3 issues, and I hope they all go back and read all 3 and see how it all ties together.
Right on, man. I love hearing the origins of a character, like in the creator's head, where it comes from. So where does Bloodbone come from? Like how did that character's creation come about?
Yeah, Bloodbone really started as an idea that like I just wanted to do something that was 180 from the Ace. Okay. Like I said, as much as I love writing it, I just kind of wanted to. I felt like I wanted to expand a bit and do something more street level. And like me and the guys from the hardline, we're always talking, we're always hanging out, late night and stuff, and we just started like riffing about like all these 90s heroes that had like blood somewhere in their name. And then when like Phil Diaz came up with Bloodbone, I remember thinking like, oh, that's just like a badass name. I wonder if anybody has has used that before.
Right.
And maybe somebody has, but I did like a pretty good search, and there was nothing. There were things that were close to it,
Right.
but it wasn't exactly. So I'm thinking like, you know what? I could rock with this. Like this speaks to me. And that's when I started thinking like, who's Bloodbone? And that's when like the idea of like this kind of like vigilante, you know, I compare him a lot to Bane. Basically, like it feels like a good version of Bane. You know, like he's doing stuff for the right reasons, but he has Bane's kind of killer instinct. He's not afraid to like kill and destroy and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But he's doing it for a good reason. Taking those two elements really kind of got me fired up. And then, you know, I started working with Joe Ball, who did like the original design for him. And then, you know, like once I kind of saw him on the page, I started writing, and then reached out to Donald, and then like, you know, he got super excited about it because he was right down his alley. And he like reworked the costume a little bit, gave him the grifter mask.
Oh, okay. So Donald added the grifter mask. That it adds a lot of cool movement, and it's such a 90s thing.
Yeah,
you know?
It just came to life once I saw that design. I'm like, that's him on the page there. Let's go. And like I said, I think we were only doing 4 pages originally. It went to like from 4 to 12 because we're both having so much fun with it. So, you know, it just kind of kept growing.
Now, so you've got Donald on this ash can, and Joe Ball is you guys are working on the regular series. And I'm gonna bring up the campaign here. So are you gonna have Donald come back and do any more work on this?
Yeah, I definitely want Donald. You know, he brought the character to life, and I just love, you know, I revisit and kind of thumb through the ash can, and I was thinking like he just did such a great job. So definitely, once you kind of start setting up the campaign and all that, I'll definitely want to get Donald to do a nice piece for it.
I love how Donald can change his style depending on the story that he's working on. You know, make it work, make it fit for the style, and his style definitely works for the brutal story you're telling here. It's some fun shit, man. Let's go ahead and watch your trailer here. Nice, man. So who did your trailer for you?
That was good stuff.
Right on. I thought it might be. Good job, good stuff. Kick ass, man. I like it. Okay, so this is the Second Chance campaign. Now, is there... and you got this badass Shelby cover. Like, hot damn. That is definitely a 90s like spinner rack cover right there, man. So are you going to, is there anything added to this particular issue or this particular version of the book? Sorry,
yes.
Mesmerized by the line work there for a second.
I know. It's hard not to, especially when you see it in color like that. It really pops. But yeah, like
it does,
I did
man.
An additional 4-page story by artist Maxi Dallo is added to this. I was actually preparing it for something else. I'm not sure if the other stuff is gonna happen or not. So I had like these 4 pages that were already done and lettered and everything. So I figured Maxi's style with Donald's doesn't clash or anything. Like they're both really good with the blacks, with the ink and all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, this will fit right in. Give people a little extra bonus Bloodbone story out here and kicking ass, trying to take down the serial killer. And threw that on there. So it made it like 16 pages, basically about half. Because Bloodbone No More is going to be 32 pages. So you're basically getting a nice little introduction here for like 16 pages.
That's awesome. And it gives the collectors something else to grab a hold of. Get the original version, which I see the original version is already sold out.
Sold
All
out.
gone.
Yeah,
All gone.
I only had like 6 or 7, so they went
See?
up. The photo ASCAN is super limited.
Yeah.
So like that was something like people could only get for a limited time. So anybody who got the first one, that's like a real collector's issue. And this one's gonna be
Right
a little more
on.
standard. Yeah.
And so now you got a blank sketch cover this time
Those are
around as
gonna be
well.
sick. Yeah. I should have
Wicked
a proof
cool.
of that soon. Yeah, I should have hopefully in the next
Awesome.
week. Should have that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I can't wait to see the the quality of the card stock, man. Because I love sketch covers. They're fun. It's I don't know, original art mixed with the comic book. It's wicked cool, man. Let's see. Trailer for Bloodbone gives me some the Max vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Max and Death combo. Yeah, totally. Hell yeah. And Donald's style pushes towards that. I mean, he loves Sam Keith. I mean, look at the arm hair that he's got all over this dude. That is definitely a Sam Keithism right there. Hell yeah, man. So, you ever think about? I realize this is a black and white ash can. Are we ever going to see a color version of this? You think?
I mean, if the demand's there, sure. But
Right.
to me, like going through the ash can again, and like I said, working with Joe in on issue 1, like I really like the grittiness of the black and white. Like I just think
For sure.
like I said, I compare a lot to the old like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics. There's something that's like really kind of visceral about having it in black and white. So like for now, that's kind of where I see it. But obviously, if the people would like, I know a couple of talented colorists that they could definitely do a good job on it. But I like the grittiness of it. I think I want to keep kind of that old school vibe of it.
Yeah, the black and white definitely has an old school indie comics vibe to it. Because a lot of old old indie comics. I mean, they just black and white printing saves on printing costs, man.
Yeah.
And they had to learn to work around it. And yeah, I totally see what you mean with the gray tones. Like this page in particular right here, the atmospheric perspective that Donald used with the grays and the faded out. It's badass. I fucking love this. The shape language that he's got going on here.
It makes for like a great like page turn when you see massive, just looking down at Bloodbone, like, and you're like, oh, yeah.
And you thought Bloodbone was big, and obviously skipped leg day. All of Donald's bruisers always skip leg day, man. You can't skip the leg day. Gotta blast them quads. Okay, and so this is some of the stuff that Maxie did.
Yep, those 2 pages are Maxie. You can see he's beefed up the legs a little bit, yeah. But
yeah, he's got this Bloodbone didn't skip leg day. That's good.
He's bulked up a little bit. The smackdown on guys.
That's fucking awesome. Action-packed, violent tale of a man decided to use his skills he's acquired in his travels to take back his hometown from a ruthless criminal organization. Hell yeah, dude. So how long do you see Bloodbone being as an ongoing?
I see you being quite a bit. I like the idea. Bloodbone's got a lot of kind of mystery behind him. Like we don't really reveal too much about him.
Yeah.
Like you don't really find out his name. Like you do see his face, but there's no like, he's basically a guy. Once you take off the mask,
he's just some dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, we give you little glimpses of like his backstory throughout, but it's not something we're gonna get like just make it all about his backstory.
Right.
I read a book that was like in the present time, that was pure like action going forward, and then gives you some little hints of different things. Like he really doesn't have like a. One thing I wanted to avoid was like if you watch the like the CW shows Arrow and stuff, Oliver has like a different like he has a different person in the Arrow cave every like other episode, And
Right.
just like the cast just grows so big where you kind of forget that it's supposed to be about Arrow cleaning up the city, you know.
Right.
So yeah, he does have some people in the city that he's kind of friendly with and stuff like that, and you'll get some hints of that. But it's really about him and his drive and his story. It's very kind of singular. He doesn't talk a lot. Like you get to see some of his thoughts on like the page there, but he's not a real verbal guy. He's very much about action, and I kind of like I said, it's completely 180 from Ace. You know, David
Yeah.
does talk. You know, he does quip. He does like interact, and there's quite a bit of dialogue for David and some of the characters. This one's a little more kind of like closer to like Arrow season 1 and 2. I like to compare it to.
Right. Then for everybody that watches that show, that's what I've always heard. The first couple of seasons were a lot better. They were a lot darker, and then it became the CW version of. I was never able to get into any of those shows, but I always did hear good things about Stephen Amell. He really seems to enjoy his fans, and he really seems to do everything he can to be really cool to his fans. So I mean, I gotta appreciate that. Gotta give props for that. Cement was asking if anybody remembered Brothers Grunt or Dead at 21. I remember Dead at 21 vaguely, but I don't remember Brothers
sounds familiar.
Grunt. Yeah. The 90s were the best, says Feline.
Yeah.
It was all downhill from there, says Cement Shoes.
Yeah, once the clock hit 2000, that was it.
Yeah. 2001, I think. We got the end of the 90s and into 2000. Maybe but 2001 is when the new decade really started off, and everything just went to shit afterwards. Yeah, wouldn't trade being young now that I don't know what they missed. Yeah, that's true. It's like we were saying, man. That golden era of good comics, which lasted from like the late '60s into like the late '90s. Some of the stuff in the early 2000s. There was some decent stuff in the early 2000s. Yeah. 2010 for comic books, I think, was the end of when the good storytelling, at least in the superheroes. Is when they kind of just bye. Everything went away after that. So you see this as an ongoing thing for quite a while, huh?
Yeah, like I've really kind of gotten into like I said, collaborating with Joe. I've known Joe forever, and feels like, and I've always wanted to have something to work on him with. And things have just kind of lined up so where we can do this, and he's super excited to like. Obviously, like it's a slow process because he's still finishing up Death. That's his main priority. That's a beast, and you can't just like slave away like he does. So he kind of works at it on the side, and like I said, there's no real rush for it. We were just kind of working on it slowly, taking our time with it, kind of make sure it's right. But yeah, like we're super excited about it. I think we both see tons of potential. We've already kicked tons of ideas just on the first issue alone to do. So yeah, I think there's a lot of fun. I think once people see some of the pages that he's done, they're gonna be like, oh, we thought this is something we don't want to miss. So I tell them, like, get on the ground floor, grab this now, and then like be ready, because Bloodbone #1 is gonna be its own thing. This is basically an introduction. I compare a lot to like when Wizard used to do the little like 0 issue
zero issues. Yeah.
No, that's what we're doing here. And then Bloodbone #1 is gonna be a full 32 page regular size comic that's just gonna rip your face off.
My next question. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be like a regular, like just a little bit bigger than a regular comic book, but chunky. Not like like an 88 pager, but that's gonna be a solid chunk of book, man. So 32 pages, and that's cool. When I mean, obviously it's taking time because Joe's got to finish Death first, but do you have an idea of when you'd like to have that out?
Yeah, we're looking at fall of next year, so around the same time. This one, in about 12 months, you should have a good chunk of it should be at least on the page getting started. And like I said, got a lot of cool stuff, and like we just like, so the crazy things about like all this stuff you're just like holding on to. You just can't wait to like share it with people.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah. You can't
a lot of
spoil
cool stuff
nothing. You gotta-
coming next year. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
Right
coming
on, man. That's fantastic. Hey, what's up, Oliver?
Well, Ollie, what
You
up?
guys- yeah, Feline posted the link in the chat, and then Oliver did as well. Well done, both of you. Thank you. I appreciate you both. It's awesome, man. Wow. So I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm curious to see what Joe's been doing. You know, with the pages. Can you tell us how many pages he's gotten done on this? I mean, don't have to throw him under the bus or anything. You don't have to spoil nothing.
You have about 7 pages right now.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Plus a cover. So
yeah.
So actually 2 covers. So
hell yeah. Well, I mean, when you got an image in your head that you just need to get out, you know, sometimes those turn out to be some of the best covers. You just get this striking image. I mean, speaking of striking, this the cover that Shelby did for you. I mean, that's quite striking.
Yeah, I own the original pages to this. I got to get those framed up. So, people were inquiring about it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna hold on to these. You know, I think
I'll just keep.
I
these,
think I'm gonna just hold on to these for, you know.
Add,
like I said,
add these to my personal art collection.
Yeah, there's really something, you know, super cool about seeing your creation on a page, but holding the original art is next level. Mm-hmm. Like I own a couple of Canales pages from Ace that
nice.
You know, I have like the cover Joe did right there, Joe Ball did, or I think like the second printing of Ace, and now with the Shelby piece.
Yeah.
I even have some raid pages too, so I have a little bit from each book. That's super like cool to me.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'd want to keep you know, at least some part of each project. You know, little bit of, you know, something from each one. You know, and if it just happens to be like, you know, cool cover art, I mean, so be it. You know, it's totally fine. You know, I would definitely want to do that as well. Hey, Hen, what's going on? Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. Smith Shoe says, I wish I could go back and relive the 90s in a continual loop like Bill Murray and Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Let's all go back to Groundhog Day. Let's hang out with Bill Murray.
Right. You know, that's I feel like that's part of what we're trying to do over here in this scene, though, is we're trying to bring back that magic, that fun that we felt, you know, back in the 90s, you know, late 80s, like, early 90s with the comics.
I think a lot of us are really kind of focused on just making these awesome kind of superhero comics. Like I know Shane's fulfilling a Swarm right now. Can't wait to get my copy. Like, you know, like there's a lot of cool stuff. The Lost Pages is going to be is kicking into overdrive. You know, the pages, every time Phil shows pages from them, I'm like, wow. So yeah, we're all trying to do our thing on this, trying to give you that feeling back and trying to fulfill these books. So that's kind of like the plan: put them out, fulfill them, get them in people's hands, and, you know, keep doing this.
Entertain that audience, man. Yeah. You know, build that audience, interact with them, and you know, give them good books to read.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So tell me about your experience. This is your second campaign for Fund My Comic. Tell me about your experience on fundmycomic.com, man. Tell me how much better it is than Indiegogo.
It's such like less of everything. Like, first off, the biggest kudos I can give them is the campaign creation.
Yeah.
The Indiegogo one is a nightmare. It's just like they
That's
just
what I've
have
always
to
heard.
go. They make everything super complex. Even like uploading images, you know, you almost need like a puzzle just to figure out their specs, you know, because this is so simple. It's drag and drop, you know, everything kind of just
beautiful,
super easy layout. The way you set up the campaign is super easy. Adding a video is easy. Like literally, it took me nothing to do the raid campaign for the first time. Just set it up like that. Every time I do one on Indiegogo, I'm always like days, a couple weeks. Just what did I not hit on the checkbox? What do I got to go and fix? You know, it's just like a nightmare on Indiegogo. And then, like, you know, getting actual answers for an issue.
Yeah.
Anybody who's tried to contact Indiegogo, I mean, you can't even get them to close your campaign on time. Like it literally, like takes like a week after you send them an email to close your campaign. I'm like, I'm making no money in this campaign. Close the thing, and they're like, oh, we'll get to it in a couple of days.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
like,
get to it when we get
yeah,
to it. You know, keep your shirt
yeah.
on.
With,
Yeah, thanks.
from my
That's good
comic,
customer service.
I literally set up the start date, the time, and the end date and time, and that's it. Like it starts on time, it ends on time. We're good.
Right on, man.
Yeah. Any issues, like I could always set up the support. They get back to you in a timely manner, help you out with stuff. So like, yeah, like big kudos to Luke and the crew.
Yeah.
You know, from my comics been kicking ass, man. It's only getting better. They keep adding, they keep improving.
Yeah.
You know, I was there from one of the early ones till now. There's tons of books on there, people fulfilling, people doing all sorts of stuff. So it's been great, man. A shout out to Luke and the crew, man, doing it on Fun My Comic.
Absolutely, given an alternative to using the
also
in the green sites.
I think they have like if you do like an exclusive campaign, I think it's like 2%, which is nothing. Wow. For like what they charge you. So I think especially if you're a new creator and you're just trying to get your name out and stuff, like this is the platform. Like just for that alone, like you're getting a break on money. Yeah, you can.
I mean, it's a site designed to sell comics, to sell magazines, books, RPG stuff. It's like all this geeky stuff that all of us are into. That's what that site is designed for. So might as well use it. And it makes me happy to hear that the experience is easier. It's more intuitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Indiegogo crowdfunding site. But this one is like going to a comic shop online and seeing a bunch of really cool independent comics that are up there, and you can peruse. And you can actually do multiple campaigns with one checkout, I believe. Which is cool.
The search is a lot easier, so it's more tailored to comics. Like you just start typing stuff and it pops up super quick. So if you're looking for something,
fantastic,
it comes like that. So yeah, the big kudos. Like I'm a fan. Like I've had nothing but good things to say about my first campaign, and like this second one's been, doing this thing. So
yeah, it looks like you're rocking and rolling great, man.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not opposed to doing like other sites and stuff. Like I think we all have to like test out, but there'll always be something from me on Fun My Comic, as long as I'm putting them out, because I just have I like the way they do business. So yeah, support.
Yeah, Luke is good dude. He's the light Luke. I'm the dark Luke. But yeah, he's good peeps, man, and I'm wicked proud of the work that he's done on this site, and making it so accessible and easy for people to use. And we needed this, man. We needed something. We needed the crowdfunding site that is not controlled by that actually cares about like making comics, that actually understands making comics, because Indiegogo and Kickstarter, they're not designed for making comics. We were able to use the algorithm to get people to pay attention because they had categories and whatnot, but this site is designed for publications. It's designed for this cool shit. So it is the platform to use, and I believe it's only going to get bigger from here. It's only going to get more people jumping on it. I mean, especially with a smaller platform fee and the convenience to the customer. I mean, it is not super convenient to back on Kickstarter. It is not super convenient to back on Indiegogo. This, much more convenient. Who did your logo, man?
Oh, that's How Comics, Alan Alonso. He does all my logos. He did the one for Raid or the White Leopard. He's done the 2 or 3 Ace ones that I've had. He's, he captured the whole essence of the book on that logo. It's super.
Yeah, man.
I gotta get some more merch on that. I'm gonna have some merch ideas for the full number 1, because I just think it's so dope, man. I think super cool.
Like, did you have a shirt before?
I did. Had one when I did the second chance campaign. I mean the first campaign through PayPal. I had like you could order the ash can plus like a shirt with had a white shirt with the Bloodbone logo on it.
Yeah, okay. I thought I might have made that up in my head, but that was a real thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that logo would be cool on a shirt.
Hmm.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it would look good on a black T-shirt
Yeah, that's
as
what I'm
well.
thinking. Like if I do like the next one might be just black with the Bloodbone logo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, this image right here would be a
Yeah.
cool
That'd be
image.
sick. Yeah.
Like even the logo on a black T-shirt with just him
Hmm.
and the foreground characters, cut out the background. That would be a fucking cool image as well. Have some of
Yeah.
the rocks around all this. Yeah, that'd be fucking rad, man. Hell yeah, dude. So what's your favorite part about Bloodbone so far? Don't give anything away story wise.
Yeah.
So thread the needle carefully. But what is your favorite thing about this character so far?
To me, like the best thing has been collabing with Joe. Like,
Yeah.
To me, like I said,
Why
we're
isn't Joe
always
here helping you talk about Bloodbone then?
probably kind of put down his 2 kids right now. They're jumping all over.
Yeah.
Climbing the little rugrats, just
Right.
going
The
up. So
chitlins always got to
bedtime,
they got to have eyes on them all the time. No,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, and
But
like,
when that first issue comes out, he better come hang out and talk
for
about
sure.
the book.
Like
Yeah.
JoJo's super excited, like I am about this. So like like I said, we're collabing. We're just coming up with like we got like some nemesis for Bloodbone. We got like stuff
Yeah.
about the corporation. We got all this kind of stuff, and we're just like kicking ideas, and we're like such on the same wavelength, and just
Yeah.
trying to make this as badass and as cool as possible. So yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
definitely like it's been fun. Like I said, it's not like working on a project with a friend. Like I said, I've known Joe for a long time in this indie space. So we actually work with him creating it. It's going to be fun. I think people are going to really dig it. Like we got some cool stuff coming.
That's what I like to hear, man. Making comics should be fun. You should be having a blast while you're making comics because that's going to come through in what you're creating. You should be tripping your own trigger while you're making the comics. And I don't mean that in a narcissistic way. I just mean like, you're entertaining yourself. You're that entertainment is coming off on the page because, you're having fun with it. And Oliver says, Luke asking the tough questions. Yeah, man, I gotta get in there, gotta dig deep. Gotta make the gotta make the guest think. I don't know. I love hearing about the creation, like the creation aspect of characters and like what the motivations were when creating. And like you said, man, you're making this with one of your buddies, and just knocking ideas back and forth. That kind of collaboration is always so enjoyable, especially like I said, if the 2 creators are having fun, and. Looking at this, looking at the stuff that Donald does, like his artwork, man, I can tell he's having fun, when he's
like I
doing
said,
stuff.
like
this page.
this
right
thing
here.
just kind of
Look at
started only
Yeah.
a couple pages. Next thing you know, we had 12 pages going because we just wanted to keep it going. So like it's just super
this
fun.
Fucking cracks me up right here. There's a look on his face and just grab, the onomatopoeia.
You can do so much with a character like this. I like that Donald threw in some like more comedic touches because, one thing I didn't want to do is like, just make it too like dour. Even there's a lot of violence and stuff. You do want to have like a couple lighter moments so it doesn't take itself too serious.
Yeah, get some of that levity in there. Absolutely. Oliver, but isn't asking someone's favorite part taboo? Man, fuck that noise. I've been asking people's favorite parts about shit for decades. Like, when you nerd out about something, you nerd out about it. I don't know, whatever. I guess, but the internet is just fucking weird, Oliver. But yeah, you ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. Let's not go to the internet. 'Tis a silly place.
Yeah, let's stay away from the internet. Let's all stay away from the internet.
And stay in the creative sphere, having fun, making comics, nerding out about shit. There's a distinct kind of like Spawn HBO vibe that I get from looking at these pages. Was that something that that you wanted to bring to Bloodbone? Because I mean, it is a street level character. But there's that dark gritty. Is that what you were going for?
Yes, definitely wanted to do something gritty that's like, just kind of grabs you by the throat. Like,
Right.
the idea of like starting this is like, we're not doing a lot of like setting up this whole world, and then we got like, no, there's these bad guys. Bloodbone catches them in the act, and he comes and beats the shit out of them. Like, we're just gonna hit you with that, like we're just gonna come, and that's the idea of like taking this character and just be like unleashing him on these villains. And the cool thing is like I said, this organization, like, like you don't have to worry about, there's no shades of gray here. Like Bloodbone's doing the right thing. Him smashing these guys, they're scumbags. They kill people, they torture people, they mess with their livelihoods. You don't have to feel bad about Bloodbone ripping shit and just smashing all these criminals. So that's something else that I kind of wanted to just let go, be like clear black and white, and make it about like, Bloodbone trying to take back his city. And, this is the only way he knows how to, he's kind of like a tank, and you just, all right, now you got to point him. And so he's trying to take all these bad guys out here, So that's a lot of the kind of mindset I had coming up with this. And then obviously we'll add some little spices of different things and some mystery and some intrigue and some new, characters and stuff. But, like in the end, each comic is just, I wanted to just punch you in the gut. Like, I want you to just get it and just be like going through it and just be like, oh, Bloodbone's just smashing guys, and just like it gets kind of crazy, and then take a page or two for a breather, and then we come right back. So just really heavily focused on the action, the wrecking of like bad guys. Having some fun with it.
Well, I mean, in looking at these pages, it looks like fun. There's a bounce to it, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the main series, man. And you guys won't have to wait super long for it. That's cool. Like next year, and that's often what would happen with ash cans back in the day. They put together an ash can, and then like a few months, 6 months to a year later, it would come out to drum up interest. So you guys getting a taste here with the and up to 16 pages, getting this extra little story with Maxie. So you're gonna have more Maxie stuff down the road as well, you think?
Yeah, like to me, like all these guys that I work with, like I have nothing but compliments to them. Like all these guys have been super easy to work with. They've all done killer work for me. Like, so, I like to bring guys, whether might have them do some ace pages, so something. I'm always looking for different things, trading cards, posters, prints, all that kind of stuff. So
right on,
yeah,
man.
keep it with the guys who do great work, man. Just keep, like I said, I've worked with Donald. He's did the ace cover for me. He did the raid cover. And then he's doing pages here. He's done other commissions for me. So, we always revisit like the homies, as I like to call them.
Right. I mean, they keep producing good work. Might as well.
Yeah, like How Comics and I have worked.
Relationship.
Yeah, like How Comics did the logo. Like I think he's gonna be doing more logos. He colors some of the work. He's doing pages for Ace 3. So it's like,
hell yeah,
guys
dude.
Keep doing great work. Keep powering him.
And that's the way it works, man. So what is in the future for you?
Yes. So up next is gonna be the Ace Volume 3. Right now it's halfway colored. I'm waiting to get the full thing fully done, like the first 2 issues. That's kind of like the thing with Ace. I like to be fully done before I launch the campaign. So I should be done by the end of the year, and then we'll launch it probably February or March. And then after that, it's Bloodbone #1, like in the fall.
Oh wow, nice. So the Raid of the White Leopard, that was kind of like a one shot.
No, it's book 1 of a 3-part series.
Oh,
but
okay.
Like I said, I don't want to take too much on the table right now. I'm finishing up the script and kind of tightening up stuff for book 2. And we just kind of want to see how the next couple campaigns doing. Then, if we can slot that in between, that'll be great too. But it all depends how the campaigns do. How where the support.
And you also don't want to flood the market. Because that's unfortunately that's what happened in the mainstream. There's too many books coming out and not enough interest.
2 projects a year, and also I want to get them fulfilled, like at least fulfill Ace
that is
in between
crucially
that.
important.
So like I said, I've done 3 campaigns that they're fully fulfilled. Raid is my 4th campaign that's halfway done. So by the end of the year should be 4 fully fulfilled campaigns for me in 4 books. So it's kind of building up that confidence.
Man. Yeah, man.
And also the second chance, everything's done for this. I'm in the process of ordering proofs. So by the end of the year, I should have proofs and everything should be ready to go. So it should be a quick turnaround on this.
Right on, man. So do you think beginning of next year or the end of this year, like December?
Probably like February-ish.
February.
I'm shooting for February, yeah. Because like it gets crazy. Like December is like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rolling into the holiday season, man. It's it's kind of like the roller coaster. Just kind of everything speeds up towards the end of the year.
Yeah. So I'm hoping by February, I'll start being able to start getting these out. But we gotta get it funded first. So
absolutely.
Got a little over 350 to go. So anybody out there,
you're getting there, man. I mean, 64%. That's fantastic, and so people can get a PDF. If I know that sometimes shipping is an absolute nightmare for our overseas friends, especially our friends over in Australia.
Yeah, international's rough, man. Like it's getting even more expensive. Like there's this.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but $15 gets you the 16-page ash can. So everything else is kind of sold out. You can get so you can get 2 ash cans for $25. Seriously, you can get 2 copies for $25. I mean, that's a damn deal. Should.
And then the sketch covers, which, like I said, I should hopefully have some in hand by next week. Show them off to people.
Dude.
Super excited about that.
Yeah, I dig the blood splatter up at the top here. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Shelby helped add the little extra blood to that. He's done sketch covers before and stuff, so kind of went to him and he helped kind of put a little extra touch on that.
Awesome. Got all kinds of cool people working on this campaign, man. That's fucking rad, dude. I'm seeing this image as a poster as well, like a mini print poster.
That'd be dope,
yeah. Stuff that you could do on the main campaign for issue 1. Kind of have little nods to the stuff that came before the ash can and whatnot. Fucking cool stuff, man. Well, chat, I want to thank you guys for being here. Edwin, thanks for coming to hang out and talk about Bloodbone Second Chance, man.
But it's always fun catching up.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think you're one of the most repeat guests that I've had on this show, because you've always got projects coming out, man. That's fucking great, dude. That's a fantastic track record, and you fulfilled each and every one of them. They come out on a regular basis. I mean, that's fucking cool. Over the course of the years that that we've known each other, it's awesome to see a consistent creator putting out his books and cultivating that audience, man. That's what this whole scene's all about, bruh.
Yeah.
So hats off to you, brother. It's cool shit,
you,
man.
Thank
Absolutely.
You. Yeah, man, it's always fun coming and talking about comics, man. That's something that there's a couple things I could talk about forever. One's pro wrestling, the other's comics. So you get me going, talk your ear off.
Well, see, I don't know anything about pro wrestling, but I do know stuff about comics, man. I love me some comics, and I'm so excited for all the cool stuff that people are making over here. We're making new mythos, and it's a fantastic thing for us to do. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all for being in the chat, and remember.
Shop smart, shop S-Mart.